Time now for our international press review even. Angela Yeo is here, and I hope, Angela, you've got your mouth into gear, because I certainly haven't, so I'll shut up and let you talk. Go ahead.
It is early in the morning here in Paris, Mark, but we're going to start with Avigdor Lieberman, who's, of course, the leader of this is in Israel, in the wake of elections there. He is the figure that may determine the face of Israeli parliament. We go first to the French paper Le Figaro, which the headline there, courted by Netanyahu and Livni, who are, of course, the major rivals to head up the new government. Lieberman plays to the highest bidder. Now, he is controversial for policies that are seen as hostile to Israel's Arab community and also to the more Orthodox Jewish community there as well. But there is a reminder in this article that he has been a part of previous Israeli governments, and he's now asking for his party to get one or two important ministerial portfolios. But at the same time, he is under investigation for on suspicions of money laundering and bribery, and so that might pose a problem as to what ministerial positions he can actually take on.
Indeed, it's quite interesting, because once upon a time he was the sort of person that people didn't want to be photographed with, but now that's all changed completely, hasn't it?
It isn't entirely taboo to have him on board in your government. And so the question that Haaretz poses is which ministerial posts are available to Lieberman. It may be somewhat awkward for him to be given, for example, public security or justice or finance, given the investigation that is going on at the moment. So Haaretz says that the investigation has to be concluded quickly so that a decision can be made. The other niggling question for many is the question posed by the Jerusalem Post. Is Avigdor Lieberman a racist? Now, we've got various academic and political figures saying it's more that his proposed policies are offensive, like his proposal for Israeli citizens to take an oath of loyalty in order to keep their citizenship. So he's going to have to do a lot more to show that he can be a legitimate partner in government, given that there are still questions as to whether he can really work together in partnership.
And his party, of course, translated into English means Israel, my home, doesn't it? So very clear where he stands, I think. What's next?
Next is Pakistan. Now, we've heard news of Mumbai admitting that Pakistan admitting that part of the Mumbai attacks last year were planned on Pakistani soil. We go to the Times of India, which says that it was US and Western pressure that worked. That's why Pakistan made an about turn. So India's former High Commissioner to Pakistan said that the reason why Pakistan made this admission is because the US threatened to cut off aid, and the US really put a lot of pressure on Pakistan. The Hindustan Times also goes along that line, saying that India is a bit sceptical about this admission and doesn't want Pakistan just to use this as a way to carry out only superficial changes on Islamic extremism in the region. So there's still a wait-and-see attitude from the Indian press.
OK, we haven't talked economy. I imagine there must be something on the economy that's caught your eye.
The economy is, of course, making headlines again. It is here in France. France is officially in recession. We've got that headline from Les Echos, a financial paper, with the release of economic figures for the end of 2008. But on that point, Libération on the front page is talking about how to share the profits. Now, we're talking about the profits of Total, the French petrol company that made some 14 billion euros last year.
That's phenomenal, isn't it?
And that's a record for a French company. So that's a company, actually, that we can imagine won't be needing the advice of this last little article from the Spanish paper Público, online lessons for bosses on how to fire their employees as cheaply as possible, and it costs just 59 euros for that knowledge. Just basically trying to figure out in these difficult times how you can get rid of your employees and for that to cost the least amount.
Is there another side to that coin?
There is, because for employees who are worried about being fired, there are, of course, websites. You can find everything on the internet now, websites to avoid being fired.
Amazing stuff. Angela, thank you. I've got to stop or I might get fired. Thank you very much. I've gone over time. I'm very sorry to everybody. But that's the press of you. When you're having fun, it's hard to stop. See you soon.
Lobbying, pressure, threats. European producers and suppliers of biofuels are fighting a bitter war in the rush for green gold. France 24 takes a look at all the ploys and strategies used to conquer the fuel of the future. Don't miss Beyond Business today, 4:15 p.m. Paris time on France 24.
For all the day's financial news, join GDF Suez for Business Report.